6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
International superstar, Miss Butter B. Rocker!
You are now tuned in to Butter B. Rocker on Transparency Talks Podcast.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. I am your girl, Butterby Rocka. Listen, we have an amazing show for you today. I'm super excited about this young man. But before I bring him on, this show is brought to you by Defiant Ones Teen Magazine. Make sure you go check out the website, DefiantOnesMag.com. Once again, that's DefiantOnesMag.com. Do you have your tickets yet for my very first BBR Indie Film screening / mixer, which is going to be on Wednesday, November 1st. I want to see you in the building. We have some amazing filmmakers and films that are going to be shown. I also have a wonderful guest panelist. It's a couple of people. We have a music supervisor. We have a casting director who is a really, really big casting director. We have a superstar actor that's been on The Wire, Black Lightning, missing some stuff, The Wonder Years, and BMF, and some other things. And we also have the third largest Black owner of a production film studio here in Atlanta, Georgia. So guys, y'all need to come out, because not only are we going to show you these films, we're going to educate you. We're going to ask real questions to these people. How do you get on? What do you need to do? What's next? Etc., etc. So make sure that you show up, because we are absolutely going to be showing out. So this young man, he is actually going to be premiering at my screening. Can you please show some love? He is a writer and a filmmaker. Can you show some love for Eddie G?
Hey, round of applause for myself.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm really excited to meet you, honestly.
Yeah, you as well. I like what you're doing with your film festival. Where you want to, get their just due and get their flowers and everything. I like that.
Thank you so much. So I'd like to dive right on in. Can you tell everybody a little bit of background about yourself?
Yes, I am Eddie G. The reason why I go by G, because no one can pronounce my last name correctly. So I just, put the G right there. So, but my name is Eddie Gorey, Gore, if you want to be Sadidi, pronounce it the French way, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I'm an alumni of Eastern Michigan University. And I started doing film. Well, I started writing first back in 2010 and later started directing. My debut directing was in 2014. And I moved to Georgia in 2015 and everything. So I've been doing it ever since, filmmaking since 2014.
Okay. And what made you want to become a writer / filmmaker?
Oh, to be honest with you, I was interning at Fox 2 News in Detroit. And this is when Kwame Kilpatrick was the mayor of Detroit and everything like that. And I was working on the news desk, writing news stories for them. And I came up with an idea of pretty much everything was going on within the city. And it just sparked something in me. But at the time, I didn't know anything about how to write a screenplay or even how to construct one. And but the idea would never leave me. It would just like I go to sleep, I dream about it. I wake up, it would just bugging me. So I was like, you know what? At the time, like I got to get this out, because if I don't, it's just going to run me crazy. So you pretty much, start reading screenplays and on how to write and everything like that, and then got a notebook and just start writing.
All right. That's kind of what I did. I just dove right in as well. I just did my very first film. Never did a film before in my life.
Yeah.
And I had wrote a play before. So the
Okay.
play, I write music, of course, because I'm a singer, but then I wrote a play with someone and I got to understand the intricate of, combining and having dialogue with different multiple people. And so I figured in my head, well, it can't be that much harder to write an actual film. But
Right.
you sound like you was self-taught as well.
Yeah. Everything I've done has been self-taught from when I had my career in IT, self-taught that, you know what I mean? So I went to school for communication. So as you can see.
Okay. Okay. So when you say filmmaker, I mean, filmmaker holds a lot of things, under that umbrella. So what all in filmmaking outside of writing you're does that entail?
Well, filmmaking is pretty much is getting everyone together to get the project film. Filmmaking is pretty much you can be behind the camera, you can be, holding the camera, you can be directing the shots at the DP and everything like that. But it's all pretty much, saying a lot of things put together to make a filmmaker and everything like that. Of constructing a team to get everything like producer, writing, directing, and the whole visualize. As indies, we all have to wear a lot of hats,
Yes.
to get the project done. So, you can be labeled as a writer or director or producer or whatever like that. But I think if you're pretty much getting everything constructed together and bringing a team together, and you
Mm,
guys are putting all your some ideas into it, you guys are making the film, so you're a filmmaker, so you put all those essential parts in to get everything filmed and everything like that. But for me, since I'm more like I write and I direct and I produce, but I also know other aspects on the set, what to do from lighting, from sound to gaffing to grip,
oh,
because
wow.
I've done all those, in those titles. When you trying to break in, I told people all the time, there's nothing wrong working on set. See, at least you'll know how a set is ran and what to
Yeah.
do and what is expected of that particular position.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I haven't done lighting and different things like that. I'm learning cinematography now because I do believe that you should know everything on your set. Now, you don't necessarily got to run everything, but you should know how to articulate and talk to them and know what you're talking about, which is
Exactly.
which was why I was so very hands-on with every aspect of my filming. I had a cast of 32. I looked at every I looked at all the auditions. I wrote what I wanted it to be because you know what you want with your own project, and
Exactly.
everything.
Exactly.
So, okay, okay. So, what are some unique filmmaking opportunities that Georgia has to offer? Because you came from Detroit and
Right.
moved here. So, what opportunities have you discovered since you've been here?
Well, Detroit was making a run with the film thing because we had the tax credit first. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But our governor pretty much snatched it away, and then everything came down to Georgia. You know, So, but when I came down here, everything was like it was just starting up, whatever. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So, but it was pretty much a vibrant because a lot of movies are being shot down here. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things was going on. And at the time, people were doing like screening shows. Like if you have a project that you film that you've done or whatever, you can show it there to your peers. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
get pretty much feedback on what you've done. So it was like a big old community of people wanting to make films and everything like that until to the point Atlanta has become like, Black Hollywood in a sense, you know what I mean? Of
Yeah.
everyone pretty much, you know, now it's just everything is kind of like comes here to be filmed. So it's like this is like from outside of LA, this is like the spot to be if you try to do something like that, involved with film, whatever, because it's a lot of, Black excellence down here, a lot of smart people, a lot of talented
Yeah.
people, a lot of creative people are making their way down in Atlanta. So it's a good avenue to do, even if you just want to just come and just, learn from someone and everything like that, even though LA is the Mecca, but Atlanta is pretty much, it's on its way.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't had the pleasure of working with other people on their projects yet, behind the scenes. I have as an actress, but I haven't got to showcase outside of my own projects with an S. I haven't got to, really get behind the scenes and work with other people. What has been some of the most rewarding collaborations you've had with other filmmakers?
Oh man, like Bobby Huntley, I met him I got down here in 2015. I met him in 2016. He had showed his film at a screening room, Louisiana 1961, and it was like, oh man, it was a dope project. I was a fan immediately. So me and him connected and everything. It's like, like-minded people get along and everything like that when everyone's pretty much have the same agenda at hand to get things done. And me and him been working together ever since then, and working with him because he's a creative genius, I think, because the guy is just he make the most creative things out the most simplest things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And working with another person like that with my mindset is just it's like it works very well. You know what I mean? But working with everybody is not good, but working with the right people is great.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely found out the hard way with some of the people.
Yeah.
How do you deal with personalities? That was a hard thing for me because I think because I was a chick, a girl, people try me a little bit more than they try men. But how do
Okay.
you deal with personalities?
Well, I'm pretty cool. I really don't really get into people like that. Like, I try not to take things personally, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Unless you're not disrespecting me verbally or physically, whatever, we're
Right.
cool. You know what I'm saying? But I let people just be them. You know what I mean? I mean,
Mm.
once if they are, so I don't know, if we can curse on here or anything like that, you
I
know.
got I'm on a lot of stations, so no cussing.
Okay, but if they're like a-holes, whatever,
Right.
I just know right then and there, I'm not gonna rock with them again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I'm going to be professional.
Mhm. Okay. You've worked on hit shows like Vampire Diaries, Black Lightning, BMF, Sully, Sparkle. How has that shaped your filmmaking career?
Well, you pretty much when you work on shows like that, and if you're not just trying to be in front of the camera and everything, you get to learn a lot of hands-on things that you're not going to learn if someone went to film school. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So you get a lot of hands-on technical stuff to learn on a film on how things are set up and how things are shot, how things are done, if you pay attention. You
Mhm.
know, when I was on Black Lightning, I was pretty much the stand-in for Black Lightning himself. You know what I mean? For
Okay.
2 years. So you can call me Black Lightning as well. You know what I mean?
All
So
right, Black Lightning.
yeah, yeah. So they put the whole suit on and everything like that. But to be honest with you, I got filmmaking school 101 doing that show. Doing that show.
Mhm.
I mean, because I saw everything. I mean, from the lighting, from the gaffing, from the setup, from the cinematography, from the DP standpoint, from the director standpoint, from the actor standpoint. I mean, you got to see a lot of things up close and personal that you wouldn't be able to see if you were background or if you were doing any other of those positions because I was right in the thick of it. So I had
Right.
to know certain spots to hit and everything like that, and how lighting was done in position, to give it that look, whatever. So me doing that for 2 years, it was just like it was more of a free type of. I was getting paid to go to school in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope. That's real dope.
Yeah,
Okay. So when developing your ideas and stuff, how do you develop your story ideas?
life experiences.
Mhm.
Nothing beats life experiences and everything. It makes it more authentic. It makes it more real. It makes it more conversational, and also I make things of like things that I want to see that I haven't seen, or things I have seen, and I want to like do a unique twist on it. You know what I mean? So I think ideas are good to have. I have like notebooks and on my phone with notes of different movie ideas I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And try to make those certain things, that you do every day as unique as possible.
Yeah. Okay. I think where I'm still missing is, all right. So you said, you know what? Hey, I want to start doing films, right?
Right, right.
What's your first film?
My first film was Never Forget back in Detroit. Me and my friend Cameron, he said, hey, because at the time I was just writing, I was just writing whatever, he was
Mhm.
like, hey, you want to enter this contest? I said, what is this contest? He said, the Detroit 40-hour film contest. You get 48 hours to make a film. I said, hey, why not? He said, okay, you're a writer and everything. We'll do it together. I said, okay, cool. So I wrote it and everything. We had 48 hours. Pretty much, they give you your theme of your project. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And within that theme, you had to pretty much make a project out of that. Like you go like pick something out of a hat, whatever, and whatever
Right.
you get, you have to pick. And we had film noir, you know, and we had to pretty much make a film noir of a slogan that we had to put in the film. And I think the whole thing was a blogger at the time,
Hmm.
you know, a blogger or whatever. So we had to put the blogger, a slogan, and the theme that we got was film noir into a whole film within 48 hours. So we did that and everything, and we ended up winning our film genre.
All right.
Yeah. So that pretty much, when I did that, that kind of like I said, okay, I may be on to something. And my cousin at the time, but my cousin was like, you know, saying get used to this because we had the whole pretty much award show and everything like that. We got the awards and everything like that. So it was like more confirmation from him. It was like, hey, get used to this because, you know, so he saw it early on.
Okay. So your friend that you worked with, he was a cinematographer?
Yes, he was a cinematographer. Yes. So he
Okay.
directed it and I wrote it.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. All right. So what I want to do right now is I want to play your trailer that is going to be premiering at my show, and then we're going to talk about it, okay?
Okay.
I know as a black man, you're feeling that tension, struggling to let yourself be vulnerable. You're keeping in check everything that's going on inside you. You hide it, bury it, suppress it. Do you experience depression? That's not helping your situation, which is why they can't help you. That affects you. What else do you feel? Is it safe to say that you have a secret war going on inside you that you're keeping hidden? In order to help you, you have to open up enough to let me in.
That's the thing. How do you know who to let in?
Wow. Just wow. All the snaps, all the snaps. I contacted you, like my team, we had 144 submissions, right?
Oh,
Which was
wow.
insane. My team looked at a lot of them. Some of them were overseas, and we knew that they weren't going to be able to come, and it makes no sense to showcase you, and you can't even be there. So that didn't make sense. But of the 144, I would say they watched over 100. Yours
Wow.
was the very first one that I personally sent a message to, and I was
Um,
so impressed when I saw it. Um, what do you want people to take away from this film, and why was it so important to share this story?
Well, I want people to take away from this film is it's nothing wrong of seeking help to talk about things that you know that's troubling you or that you feel you know is weighing you down. You know what I mean? Or past trauma that you experience is to it's okay to reach out for help to talk to someone. I mean, let's be real. It's hard to
Right.
you know open yourself up to a stranger or even to your friends to let them know your more vulnerable side. You know what I mean? And to let someone in to really you know dissect everything. And what I want people to get from it is, hey, we are all going through some type of war within ourselves. You know what I mean? And it's best to not go through it alone.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really deep, and it was crazy because I 3 of the people that watched it were men. And I mean, they when I say they were glued and they was like, this is how we feel, but no one talks about how y'all feel. You know what I mean? And you was
Right.
bold enough to really, I mean, he really said some things that was just, I mean, it was just hardcore to me. It was just completely what we think, but we don't ever say out loud type of situations. And I was,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So, you do open up to people and then you're like, man, I shouldn't have done that because they kind of like dismiss what I said, you know. So it's kind of like make you feel regret and like anger inside. It's like I'm trying, but it's just like sometimes you go to the wrong person and not knowing they're the wrong person until you open up and you say, okay, that's not my person. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Because
definitely.
because you say, oh, we can go to white therapists, but to be honest with you, I don't think a white therapist will understand black problems. You know what I mean? I think they will pretty much try to fix it surface level type of things, but I don't really think they know exactly all the trauma that's pretty much been passed on from generation to generation up into youth.
Right.
It's something that I don't think they'll be able to comprehend. Not saying they won't be able to, saying diagnose with her, but I don't think they'll be able to comprehend. One of my films that I love was Antoine Fisher. You seen that?
Yeah, I have.
So how Antoine Fisher was pretty much keeping everything in check when he was in the Navy and everything like that. And, he was pretty much having a hard time opening up because it was like, if I do this, I just can't, just can't shut it off. You know what I mean? I'm going to need more help than just these sessions. And most people are like that. Like, what's the point of opening up? And if it's just going to be like put a Band-Aid on it, that Band-Aid is end up going to lose its adhesiveness and it's going to come off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the crazy thing is, like, okay, for me, I don't know how to write a short because I have too many ideas. How do you condense it into a short and it still makes a whole lot of sense? It still tells the full story. I'm so impressed with short films. I do want to try a short. I'm so impressed with short films for that reason, because honestly, you gave us everything in that
Yeah.
short.
With short films, it's like a method to it. It's like you get a beginning, you
Yeah.
get a middle, you get an end, just like a feature film, but it's
Right.
more, but it's more in a short form. So what you want to do is you want to hit them first, right, to get their attention,
Right.
and then in the middle, in the time, dialogue is very important. You see what I'm saying? Dialogue is very important. So if you can pretty much shorten dialogue up within that middle, you can explain everything was going on, and then pretty much at that third act, whatever the ending, you give them that climax. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's just like a music video. You sing, right?
Right.
Have you done any videos?
Plenty.
So it's just like that. What you're doing is you just made, when you do music videos, it's more of a music short film, because
Right.
you're telling the story within that minute or two, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's the same formula.
It did, maybe because, okay, so when I initially wrote my feature film, it was 13 episodes. I was going to turn it into a series. But then when I
Right.
looked at the cost of how much it was going to be to do all of these series, I was like, okay, let me condense this. So I was able, and still don't know how I was able to condense 13 episodes into, this feature. And I can't fathom taking it down even further to put it into a short. I just,
You can, if you can take 13 episodes. Listen to what you just said. You say you took 13 episodes. 13 episodes. And how many pages were the episodes?
the I don't know off top.
About, let's say about what? If you're doing episodes, is it 30 or
It was,
20, 10 or 30?
I think it was about 20 pages. It averaged around 20 pages each episode.
Okay, so we talking about 100 plus pages, right?
Yeah,
100
definitely.
plus pages into a 90 page or maybe 120 page, right?
Right.
So if you got 13 episodes, so you talking about, let's say the 20 a piece, you got what, 260 pages? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That you condense into a feature. If you could do that, you could definitely condense the feature into a short that's 10 pages. Because all you gotta do is just I'm serious. All you gotta do is get the most exciting and prominent visual or message of that project, and,
Right.
and condense it together. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
whatever your project is about, just like, you know what, I want to touch mainly on this, and this gonna pretty much tell everything what my feature is about. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think because on my film, I'm showcasing, she goes on these multiple dates in this film. It's called Finding the Perfect Guy.
Right.
And if you show one scenario, you should show them all type of thing. So yeah, it's a lot.
Well, I, I'm gonna help you around. I'm gonna give you some jewels. So
Okay.
she's trying to go on. She's going on dates with these multiple guys, right? So how you would start off? You would start off either her on a dating app or her searching for guys and or talking to a friend about guys, and then her friend would give her some type of pointers, whatever, and then you would
Right.
see kind of like you could do like a montage of her dating multiple guys and everything like that, and once the dates go wrong or whatever, she come back to her friend to tell her about her dates and how she had never think she better find love or whatever like that. And then she's like,
Right.
"Well, girl, I got a guy I want you to meet." It's like, "Girl, I'm done with dating. I don't want to do nothing no more with dating. I'm done. I'm just gonna give up and buy me a dog or a cat and just be alone with her." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then she's like, "No, go on this date, whatever." So you meet this guy, you guys hit it off, whatever, you talk and everything like that. And then you either can end it on a pretty much a cliffhanger,
Right.
or you can end it on a solid note, or you can end it more with like where she kind of like break the third wall and look into the camera and like maybe it could be the one, and then it goes off because you never want to give you want to give someone more and more to watch
Right.
the extended version. You know what I'm saying? So you want to have like, damn, I want to know what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I am going to turn it into a short. I'm going to make that a goal to turn my feature into a short. But on the first, y'all gonna see a scene, and I'm gonna call it a day.
Yeah, but I
Y'all
would say if you
gonna,
do make it a short, about 10 minutes. 10 minutes is good. Good 10 minutes and everything like that. So it's not over. It's not overly done. It's not drawn
yeah,
out. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's so crazy. Again, I'm going from an hour, 39 minutes to now 10 minutes. In my head, I'm like, I don't see it, but I am gonna work on it. That is something. But we are talking about you. What I want to know is, how do you balance life and your work?
Uh, shoot, pledging taught me how to balance that when I pledged. You know what I mean? Of knowing how to balance your time. You
Hmm.
know, kind of teach you life lessons. Also, playing sports as well, because when you play sports, play football for Eastern Michigan. Uh, you have class, you have practice, and you
Hmm.
have study hours, you have study tables. You know what I mean? So you only allotted so much time to do those things, and the things that you had to get done is class and pretty much practice and study tables. So that kind
Hmm.
of like pretty much taught me how to value my time and utilize my time and other things another way to pretty much kind of like get the best out of my day.
Hmm.
So with work, of course, no, with work and everything like that, especially if you're on set 12-hour days, not
Yeah.
more. You know what I mean? So when you're doing that sometimes from Monday through Friday or even Saturdays or whatever, it's kind of hard to do that because you on set all day, every day. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that day that you do have off, either it's going to be relaxing, whatever. But I always tell people this: just because you're relaxing, don't mean that you can't, saying outline or do something more, saying to pretty much whatever that you had going on. You just can outline it and table it until your time does free up to the point where you can pretty much put all your time into that.
Right. Okay.
But doing, I would say, working, in this industry, it's not for the weak hearted. You're going to
Mm-mm.
have some type of relationships that's going to wane because of your time. If a person doesn't understand or used to a person that's working in the industry, it's different than your average person that's doing like a 9 to 5. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's going to take a
Absolutely.
special man or it's going to take a special woman to understand that, and be able to accept that.
Yeah. How long have you been full time into your craft?
I've been since I moved here since 2015. When I moved here, I tried to get a job doing IT. Nobody would hire me. Nobody would hire me. I mean, I went on interviews and knocked them out the park, and I
Hmm.
wouldn't get hired. So I felt that like that was like more of a sign of saying, okay, you did that back home. Now we're gonna do this down here.
Right.
No matter how hard it get, we're still gonna stick with the plan. You know what I mean?
I
So I've
love
been
it.
doing that, since 2015. But to not even though doing the strike, I'm looking like, man, money getting tight, no
All
money
right.
going, whatever like that. So it's like, okay, let me go ahead and see what I can do other than this film stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm still making money like doing stuff from film, things of that nature. I
Mm,
tell people all the time is try to don't be so stuck into one particular niche,
yeah.
broaden your horizon to certain things, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like come become be a jack of all trades, because if you become a master of one, once that master of one pretty much becomes obsolete, then what you have.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You just be a master with the obsolete trade or whatever, so instead of a jack of all trades, you can do multiple things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Definitely. I left corporate in 2007 to pursue music. I have literally toured the world performing. And then in 2019, torn meniscus, torn ACL, dislocated my shoulder, couldn't tour for a year. And when I was able to tour again, I got my release in April of 2020, and I was great about to
mm,
do an African tour, but COVID had hit in March and they start shutting everything down.
yeah.
So it was a lot of time for me to sit and be creative. So a lot of things were birthed from my book becoming an Amazon bestseller, me starting my podcast is now picked up on all these stations and all these different things. But had I not injured myself and sat down, I wouldn't have been open to trying new things. So I guess I'm glad for the setback because it set me up for, more things and made me become open. But I used to have a background. Well, I have a background in computers as well. I never actually went into the field. I got a degree in computer information systems and I got a degree in marketing and PR. But none of that was just something just to have because my core has always been music and now film. So, um, what's next for you?
What's next for me? Right now, got a few features pretty much on the table, and until after this, well, hopefully, we can get a deal done with the SAG and everything like that.
Hmm.
So once that happens, I got some couple of features looking to be made and everything like that, and get funded, to go in production with. But yeah, I'm always doing something. You know what I mean? I'm always got my hands in something or writing for other people as well. But I tell
Nice.
the people like, you still can make money and like, show your talent by making shorts and everything like that, or making type of extended trailers so people can see your creativity, how
Hmm.
you do things, and then like, oh, because a lot of people will pay you to do things for them. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
They want your touch on their projects, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people all the time, don't feel like you're doing this for no reason. Is it because someone's always watching,
Yeah, definitely.
always watching? You know what I mean? They may not be interacting, but they definitely watching.
Yeah, they like this.
It,
Watching.
exactly. They definitely watching and everything like that. So I used to tell people all the time, even when things what I'm saying get hard and kind of like get rough, or you like, man, I don't know, it's like I'm just turning my wheels. What I'm
Right.
saying, nothing's going on. I'm not getting no type of traction. It's just like, nah. I mean, we all have to go through those times. Like you said, you got injured, and you
Yeah.
said you didn't know what you was going to do, but you like, you know what? This is the time to pretty much collect myself and to see other things that I can do. You know what
Right.
I mean? And you did it. And look at you. You pretty much a doer. Because you got a lot of talkers out there, but
Yeah.
you don't have many doers.
Yeah. 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 We're definitely among the doers. So, how
Yeah.
can people reach you?
Well, people can reach me at Eddie G Films on Instagram. That's pretty much where I promote more of my stuff, whatever. I'm not really a big social media guy. I'm trying to change that and get more involved on social media. I mean, I do post my stuff on there, but more of me just being just glued to my phone like that. I'm not really big on that. But I'm trying to put myself out there more and more because, like I said, I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of guy. So
Right.
I guess I gotta, what I'm saying, do a little bit more with that.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank you so much for being a part of Transparency Talks podcast. I have learned a lot, and I'm positive that my audience has as well. So, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, well, you're welcome. With that being said, everybody, we are out of here and we will talk to you guys later. Peace.